if you say something and it offends someone, don't fucking apologize for it. Because chances are, if you were trying to be funny, guess what? You probably don't fucking mean what you were saying. Apparently intent means nothing anymore. We are seeing celebrities by the week being crushed by things that they've said on their Twitters and their social media platforms years ago. They're losing their jobs, sponsorship deals, relationships. They're looking like absolute fuckwits because of some shitty jokes that they've made in their past. And now we're punishing them because that's the right fucking thing to do. Apparently this is what people do for sport now. They go back through people's entire lives on social media and pick little things that they've said that are a bit shitty or are shit jokes or are just generally fucking weird. Imagine being that fuckwit. The fuckwit that just scrolls through someone's Twitter history or Instagram history just to find that one thing that they can pick, grab, and then put up somewhere and make a big fucking song and dance about it in their blog that 4 people read, and then some fuckwit in the mainstream media picks it up, and then everyone's up in arms and everyone's demanding an apology, and then these dickheads fucking apologise for it. It was a joke. If it's a joke, don't apologise for it. You obviously thought it was funny when you said it, so don't back up on it now. Stick by it. Take James Gunn, for example. Now, James Gunn, if you don't know him, he was the man behind Guardians of the Galaxy, 2 of my favourite movies over the last, I don't know, I should have researched when they came out, but a few years. Before James Gunn was a household directorial name, he was making some weird statements on Twitter, including ones about some topics that we won't touch on YouTube because we'll probably get this video removed. Now, James Gunn said these and just put them out into the internet and seemed to forget about them until recently when some fuckwit, as I was just referring to, scrolled through his history and then found these jokes, put them out there, and now James Gunn has been fired from his job and has been outcast from the entire Hollywood industry because he made some distasteful jokes. But the jokes don't even matter. That's not what is important. What matters here is not if these jokes were funny. They were intended as jokes, and therefore they cannot be taken as serious statements. So why the fuck does this man now lose his job? All because we're caught up in this weird outrage culture where everyone freaks out about every fucking little thing. And then there was Laura Lee, who's a YouTube lady who does, I think she does beauty stuff. I'm not too sure. But anyway, it doesn't matter. She said some things on Twitter that were quite racist, in fact. But they were jokes. They were racist jokes, okay? So, what happened there? The same fucking thing. Everyone was up in arms and was demanding an apology, and then Laura, fucking hell Laura, she came out with an apology that was perhaps the worst example of acting that I have ever seen.
I want to talk to you guys in this video. It's been so long.
It was purely fucking awful, and now everyone hates her even more. And if you're someone who is in the public eye, or even if you're someone who's just making jokes at school or work, don't apologise for them. Never apologise for them. Because there's a difference between saying something hateful and just saying a joke. If you say something hateful, then fuck you. Right? If you're being mean to someone, well, fuck you. But if you're saying a joke and you obviously don't mean it, don't fucking apologise for it. And don't just apologise because the internet demands it. Have you ever read a comment section? Oh my fucking God, there are some special people out there. And these are the people who are demanding that you respond to them. People you would never talk to in real life. So don't crumble under their fucking pressure. Do what you think's funny, mate. But the real reason that I'm making this video is because of something that happened to me recently at one of my shows. I was doing one of my bits about the Catholic Church. Now, as you can imagine, the bit doesn't really shade too much positive light on the church itself. In fact, it's talking about one of the most horrendous things that has happened in the church's history. It was at this point that a gentleman in the back of the room seemed to be very upset. He was yelling things out and I asked him what was wrong. He then proceeded to tell me what had happened to him as a child. Something horrible, horrendous, and just disgusting had happened to him as a child, and for me to say that joke in front of him, he felt attacked. He felt offended. He became very angry and even offered to fight me. Now, here's the thing. What do I do in that situation? There's a room full of 350 people all waiting for me to tell jokes, and then I've got one guy who's yelling at me. It's a fucking tough situation. But I didn't take a backward step. I continued with my bit and I got through it. And then I sat down on a stool on the stage and had a chat to him. Now, I didn't know what to do in this situation. Should I have backed down and stopped the joke and moved on to something else? But inside my own head, while I was trying to keep the crowd entertained and deal with this person, I was having this inner monologue about, well, I've always championed free speech and to say the things that you think are funny and do the things that you want to do. For me to stop at that moment and change what I was going to say would be very hypocritical, regardless of how horrible his experience was. And I can only begin to imagine how horrible that was, and I don't want to take anything away from that from even a second. The fact that that is still an issue in our society today is fucking disgusting, and the fact that no one is doing anything about it is also fucking disgusting, and anyone that thinks it isn't a problem can get fucked. But here's the thing. That man laughed at 40 minutes of my show, where I said horrible things about other people. And then when it came to offend him, that's when he said enough. And I understand why he did that. I get it. But you can't have it both ways. You can't laugh at everything until it comes around to you. And I think that's how a lot of people operate. They're happy to laugh at other people's misfortunes, and then when it affects them, that's when they change their tone. Let me know in the comment section below what you think I should have done in that situation. On a similar topic, people get very upset about those type of jokes. The ones that really touch on the subjects that are taboo. But what I don't understand is why people get so upset about that, the joke, and not so much about the actual event, the actual act. They'll write letters, they will complain online, they will whinge and bitch and moan, but they won't do anything to actually help. I'm under the impression that either everything is okay or nothing is okay. As soon as you crumble, as soon as you change to the pressure that people are putting upon you, that is when censorship wins. And that is not something that I'll be a part of. It's almost like we're moving into the 1950s, where every single TV presenter, where every single comedian that appears on the TV at the gala is the same. They're all plain chips. That's what they are. They're all fucking plain chips. There's nothing exciting there. And I'm not putting shit on them. That's what they have to do to get on the telly and make money, but it's just something that I don't love it. And I don't think you do either. We've always loved people who took chances, who rose up and said, fuck you to the establishment, whoever the establishment happens to be. And at the moment, the establishment is this political correct society that we've seemed to morph into, where everyone's trying desperately not to offend people. But guess what? The world's pretty fucking offensive, ladies and gentlemen. And we've been dealing with this for a long time. We've been dealing with people trying to stop people doing things that they want to do for some time. Take, for example, Lenny Bruce, the famous comedian Lenny Bruce. He was arrested multiple times and charged many, many times in the 1960s because he was using vulgar language on stage. He got jailed for using the word cocksucker. What a fucking legend. But he didn't take a backward step. He never fucking apologized. And because of him, I'm allowed to exist. Now, this video is definitely not about defending bad humor or bad jokes, but it's defending the intent. Because if we start to forget about what intent even is, then we will end up in a world where everyone gets their comedy from fucking BuzzFeed and ABC comedy. And ladies and gentlemen, that is a horrific fucking world. Comedy and jokes are like music. I like comedians like Bill Burr, like Jimmy Carr, like Jim Jeffries, and other people are allowed, like take for example people from inner city Melbourne. They like comedians like, who gives a fuck? Some people like the heavy metal songs of comedy, and other people like the fucking play school songs of comedy, and that's okay. But for you people who like the little play school songs of comedy, shut the fuck up and stop telling people that they can't enjoy other types of comedy. Like, Good comedy. So tell jokes, offend people, enjoy yourself. If someone gets offended by everything, fuck them. Ladies and gentlemen, my name's Isaac Butterfield. Be a good motherfucker. Peace in the Middle East. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. Hashtag me dick stinks. And I hope you have a lovely bloody day. Alright? I'll be back next week with another video. If you haven't hit subscribe, do that fucking immediately. And if you haven't hit the notification bell as well, apparently people haven't been notified that my videos are going up. And that's a damn travesty, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you right bloody now. There's a new studio coming in a couple of weeks as well. I'm just waiting for all the parts to arrive from across the globe. They're coming together, this amalgamation of fantasticness and wonderfulness and beardedness, ladies and gentlemen. Peace in the Middle East. I've already said that. Au revoir.